So welcome to day 2 of quadratic functions in Vertex form. Okay. Today, by the end of this lesson, we will be able to write a quadratic function in vertex form and standard form from a point of the vertex and a point on the parabola. So as a review, yesterday's lesson, we talked about vertex form. Remember that vertex form is that y equals a x minus h squared plus that k. Okay? That h and the k, that is our vertex. And as part of our vertex, just like in standard form, our axis of symmetry is that h value. It's the same as our x, so that x equals the h. A still indicates the direction of our parabola. Remember, if our a value is positive, remember positive makes us happy, our parabola is going to open up and we are going to have a minimum. If the a value is sad, negative, okay, negative makes us sad, it's going to open down and we are going to have a maximum. With all parabolas, our domain, meaning our x, remember domain is our x, is going to be all real numbers. Our range, our y value, is going to be based on whether or not we have a minimum or a maximum. So if I have a parabola where my a value is positive, it is going to open up. So I know that my range is going to be y is greater than or equal to whatever that minimum value is, because everything is going to be above here. Okay. If I have a maximum, meaning my a value is negative and my parabola opens down, okay, I have my y value is going to be less than or greater than. And remember, in this situation, our y value is our range. So let's get started. On this problem, we are given a quadratic function in vertex form. Okay? Remember that vertex form is that y equals our a value, x minus h squared plus k. Okay? This is in vertex form. And we are asked to convert it to standard form. Okay? So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to expand this out. So I'll have 4, right? And then x minus 4 squared is just my x minus 4 written 2 times. Now I'm going to use my FOIL method. Okay? So here I have my x times x, which is x squared. Okay, my x times negative 4x, and then I'm going to go the inside. And last but not least, negative 4 times negative 4, positive 16. Okay, now remember, this is still all in that parentheses, and I'm just going to fill in around it. Now, simplify this. I have x squared minus 8x plus 16. My next step is I'm going to distribute this 4 to everything inside the parentheses. Okay, we're back to don't call me after midnight. So I have 4x squared minus 32x, and then 16 times 4, 64. Okay? And then I'm just going to tack on that plus 4 at the end. Now my final, combine any like terms. Do I have any other like terms that I need to combine? Hopefully you recognized here. Okay? So my final answer is going to be 4x squared minus 32x plus 68. Okay, so in this problem, we are asked to write an equation in vertex form, okay, for parabola, giving us the vertex, so it gives us the point of the vertex at 3, 9, and runs through the point at 5, 1. So here, as a reminder, our vertex form is y equals a, okay, x minus h squared plus our k value. So let's identify what we currently have in our equation, okay? Remember, vertex, so vertex is written as our h comma our k. So we have our h value of 3, our k value of 9, and then we have a point on our parabola. This is just x comma y. So let's plug in. Okay, so for my vertex form, my y, this is it. I have my y equals 1. I'm using the y from my point. I do not know my a value, which is fine, because that is the only variable we need to solve for now. Okay. For my x, that's my x of point. I have 5 minus my h value coming from my vertex is 3 squared. And then my k value is plus 9, okay? And then from here, I can just simply start to solve my equation. So the first thing, I'm going to take care of what is in my parentheses. So I have 1 equals a 2 squared plus 9. Then I'm left with 1 equals, we know that 2 squared is 4, so I have 4a plus 9, okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I need to isolate that a, so I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. It leaves me with 4a equals negative 8, and then I'm dividing by 4. So I know my a value is negative 2. Now, I'm not finished because my problem asked me to write the equation in vertex form. So now I'm just going to plug everything in. So vertex form, remember that's my y equals a, x minus h squared plus k. So I have y equals, my a value is negative 2. So remember, we already know that parabola is going to open down. X minus, I'm pulling the 3 right, problem gave it to me, okay, that vertex point 3 squared plus my k value plus 9. And that is my final answer. This next problem, I'm asked to write an equation in vertex form, but this time I'm given the parabola, but I see my points. Okay? So here, let's identify what I have. I have my vertex. Okay, this is my vertex. This here is just my point. Okay? And I can go ahead and put it into my formula to write my equation. Okay? So remember, my formula for vertex form is y equals a, x minus h plus k. This is my h value. This is my k value. And then my point, here is my x, here is my y, which means the only variable that I am missing that I need to solve for is my a. So let's go ahead and plug in. So my y value, I have 1 equals, I do not know what my a value is. I need to solve for that. My x value, that's the x value of our point. I have 2 minus my h value, that's coming from my parabola, 0 squared, and then my k value is minus 3. And now from here, I'm just going to simply solve my equation. I have y equals my a value, okay? 2 minus 0 is 2 squared minus 3. So this 2 squared is 4. I have 4a minus 3. Now I'm going to add my 3 to both sides. So I have 4 equals 4a, and my a value equals 1. Okay. So I now know my a value. I'm not done yet because my question is telling me to write it in vertex form. Okay. So remember, this is vertex form. So I have my y equals, what is my a value? Well, it's 1. Okay. X minus my h value is 0, and then k minus 3. Okay. Whoops, and I forgot, it's parabola, so it should be squared. Okay. And now I can leave it like this, or I can simplify it. Okay, simply written, it could be y equals, I know x minus 0 is just x, so I can just write x squared minus 3. So now you've finished off vertex form day 2. You have learned how to write quadratic function in vertex form and standard form from point of the vertex and point on the parabola. As always, if you have any questions, make sure you come to tutoring. Ask lots of questions.